Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Nexus Kinesis
Nexus
updates.
Kinesis.
Nexus Kinesis.
It's like magic.
It's just like magic. Actually. So, Nathan, you want to give some quick background on the Nexus Kinesis while I just check our audio and make sure we have sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then I'll also double check. Let's just do a quick round of checks because we're live and we just want to make sure
Yeah,
that
we just want to make sure
everything looks good,
hear
sounds
us.
good, and all that good stuff. Sounds good.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Awesome. We're good.
So,
Golden.
we're good. It's important to make sure that these things are working right because it's magic. And
We are our own producers and our own tech people, so we have to be the ones to monitor all of these things.
That's right.
Live! It's a live video!
It's live. Oh, watch out.
Oh, sorry,
Watch out.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, doggies. You can't roll your heavy chair over the doggies.
Yes,
That
they are here. So
disastrous.
let's get into it. Now that the
okay.
little one thinks that it's time for naps, so we'll just continue to have naps.
Perfect.
It's like I don't want to be on camera. I'm just going to sleep.
So yeah, Nexus Kinesis. These were the projects essentially that our members from Underground Ops and Cloud Underground staff have currently been working on using the Underground Nexus. You can do so much with the Underground Nexus, and this is just proof. Everyone's doing something very different.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool and exciting. And so we talked about these. I looked on our YouTube channel in April. End of April was when we first brought up the Nexus Kinesis. So where do all these projects stand? How's everybody doing? That's what we're here talking about today.
That's right.
So we're going to briefly go through and let you know how everyone's Nexus Kinesis projects are stacking
Nexus
up.
Kinesis.
So I guess we'll start with the Cloud Underground team. Randall, our CISO.
All right. So first, for those who don't know who Randall is, who's Randall?
Randall Massey is the Cloud Underground CISO, co-founder. He's been involved in, obviously all of Cloud Underground, and was a big fan of ours in our previous company, Notia Point. And yeah, Randall's a mover and a shaker, and yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of what brought Randall to work with us is Randall is one of those types who just always wants to learn something new.
He's so passionate about like researching and he manages all of our communities because he's just like always has all kinds of like interesting things that he's finding out about DevSecOps and cloud native and all of these things. Like his passion is just like learning and researching and sharing that knowledge with all of our people, which is awesome.
Yeah, which is exactly how we met, and also exactly what got us working together, because Randall is like, wouldn't it be neat if there was a way for me to just like learn forever and not have to just constantly pay for college and all that good stuff? And I was like, well, I don't really know anything like that, but we could probably just make a forever school.
We make our own.
And so that was the beginning of what's called the DevSecOps Dojo, where we teach people. And we were like, well, we can just basically make this DevSecOps Dojo where you can just learn forever and at your own pace, getting real world experience, building real things. And we'll start by, you can learn all things about cloud, and we'll just build a cloud, and that can be how you learn it. And that's Randall's hobby. And so in a lot of ways, because Randall loves that, his hobby is something he loves it so much that he's willing to basically be a founder as like a hobby, which you don't meet many types like that. Randall now is wanting to make his day job associated with all things applying cybersecurity for some company, because why spoil the fun of learning when you have to also get paid doing it?
Yeah, I would say too, I think another thing that like makes the Nexus kind of magic and has made it magic for specifically Cloud Underground is like we all obviously like work in and like for and like Cloud Underground is our passion and our business, but we also have like other lives, and the beauty of the way we've structured this company is a lot of it is automated. So we create the tools, we build them, we update them, of course, like, but it's the business is automated. We automate as much as we possibly can so that we can, you know, pursue other passions as well, and using the Nexus to like help other people, help other companies, and you know, learn the new things that we can even do with the Nexus, because
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it, is it is so versatile. There's so many different opportunities for people to use it, and that's partly what we want to help people do is
Exactly.
and all of us, or most of us, are like involved in working with other people as well. Like Cloud Underground is an awesome part of our lives, but it's also, you know, not
Yeah.
the only thing in our lives.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And Underground Nexus, as Laura says, is so automated that we have almost served 1,000 downloads that we don't necessarily even like. I know who's downloading things, but we get so many people talking to us that I'm sure there's a giant chunk of hundreds of those who just download and use the Nexus and never even talk to us.
Yeah.
And so I just have I don't even know who everyone is. It's
Yeah,
just that automated.
If you happen to be one of those people, we'd love to hear what your
Yes,
Nexus
we'd love to
Kinesis
hear what your
project
projects
is.
are.
Definitely leave us a comment, whether you're watching on LinkedIn or on YouTube. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you're doing with the Nexus. We'd
That's
love
right.
to hear those things.
And what Randall's now doing, now that the Nexus exists, is he took the Nexus to become a cybersecurity master so that every day he can learn more cybersecurity and share what he's learning about cybersecurity with everyone around him all the time. But what Randall now needs is a team who wants someone who's just going to be there for 20 years or something along those lines, because that's just kind of how Randall is. So now Randall has built the underground, I guess it's, what's it called?
Simply Amazing Sock.
That's right, Simply
He built
Amazing
a Simply
Sock.
Amazing Sock, and yeah, now he's
Randall's cybersecurity learning automates our security a little more every day. And so, like I said, Randall is now looking for a team who wants these benefits and wants to be his day team, so that these things that he's learning actually have a place for him to go and find people who he really likes spending his time with.
Exactly.
And that's the whole value of Nexus Kinesis, is now Randall's been able to learn so much about cybersecurity that he wants to go apply his knowledge with people who he believes in. So for someone who's looking for someone who has advanced SOC skills, or wants to do those things, for Randall, this is very much so like the thing that he wants to keep as his hobby. So why spoil the fun? It will stay a side thing for him. For us, we make our full-time living on things. But even for me, for those who might know this or might not know this, I actually have a day team because I don't like not having a day team as well. So this is one of the reasons why Randall and I get along, is because we like having day teams of people who we are around for years on end and don't change, because I don't want to have to like get to know 1,000 people. I'm very introverted and I get overwhelmed very easily. I just want to have my little family of people that I work with, and Randall is looking for that as well.
Definitely. So if you want to talk to Randall, work with Randall, you can message him on LinkedIn. Randall Massey, Cloud Underground. He's out there. Our next Nexus Kinesis project comes from our CTO, Jordan Anderson. Jordan has been working on a managed mesh so that he can have a printer pipeline. So basically he can have multiple printer locations and manage them all from a single remote location. And he's working a lot with industrial control systems, and creating a global manufacturing system.
Yeah, so basically, Jordan builds industrial control systems, and in his case, he uses them for manufacturing. So that began because once upon a time, we had this idea of like, well, what if we built our own like data center servers and then used our own data centers servers that we build to run our own companies? Well, we went ahead and did that, and those were manufactured and created and invented by the one and only Jordan. And whenever you invent something as wild and crazy as Jordan has come up with, inevitably more people want it, and so you have to find ways to scale out your manufacturing because manufacturing does it's like magic, except for it's not because you still have to actually do the work to make a thing. But the Underground Nexus makes it so that Jordan could manage printers from around the world, just as Laura's talking about. So
I think his latest update too is that he got Octoprint, which is a print like a remote printing software that he can use to run in a Raspberry Pi. So he can
yes,
literally like print. He can control his printer from a Raspberry Pi.
and he can basically integrate that with his Underground Nexus cloud, which means that he has a cloud managed and a cloud controlled 3D printing engine, and he can attach it to other things as well, so it doesn't have to stop at 3D printing. He could have other manufacturing tools and other different machinery connected. And Underground Nexus is tooled to work with something called FPGA. For those of you who need FPGA for your company, Jordan does that sort of thing, and so he does that for us, and he will do that for other businesses as well, since he does take clients and he does do consulting. He does not just do this just for fun like Randall does. This is Jordan's living, and Jordan will actually sell you a supercomputer if you ask Jordan if he'll make you one. He'll tell you how much it costs, and he doesn't just work with small Raspberry Pis. One of the servers that Jordan has built is sitting right next to me, and it is about half as tall as I am. That's right, it's like feet tall. It's not just a few inches like a Raspberry Pi. So if you need systems, industrial control systems, scalable infrastructure, machinery that can be cloud controlled, cloud managed, and anyways, I'm getting
It's all various.
ahead of myself. It's insane.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to do things like manufacture satellites and rocket engines or chipsets or plastics and materials, well, Jordan even studied the sciences for his master's degree, and there's reasons why Jordan knows things. It's because he's just a mad scientist. So
That's right.
there you go. Those crazy scientist types, they're gonna always keep coming up with more things.
Definitely.
We're all gonna be doomed. The next amazing invention.
So our next Nexus Kinesis mention is Ken Underhill. He is the Chief Strategy Officer for the Underground Ops MSP, which is a partner company of Cloud Underground. And he has created the Cyber Life School, and since April, since we first started talking about it, that school has now launched. It is a pay-what-you-can model to learn cybersecurity. Yeah, awesome. So if you want to learn cybersecurity, visit cyberlife.tv. That's Ken's website, and you can also watch his TV show, cyberlife.tv. And awesome. All right, so our next project comes from Antoinette. And Antoinette has been working on building a website in the Underground Nexus, and she's also added another project on to her Nexus Kinesis.
Well, it's all related.
Yeah.
So Antoinette has been working on basically making it so that you can have the entire back end of your websites just portable, so that when you want to move your website around, it's not just like some big complex migration. You can pretty much just take whatever your website is, and if you started it in the Underground Nexus, or if your first migration is to the Underground Nexus, then forevermore you can just automatically deploy your website to whatever infrastructure or scale it across whatever infrastructure you want, or hand a duplicate clone of your website to the developers for people to do experiments and tests with. And then on top of that, in order to make this possible, she is creating a custom container registry. And so for those who are wondering, what is a container registry? That's probably not something that you necessarily need, but for those of you who are working with things like container registries and you're trying to figure out all this stuff, and you need that custom, it's far and in between that someone can actually sit there and build your own DevOps CI/CD compatible, capable container registry that is fully integrated with an API, so that you can basically make your backend resources globally accessible thanks to magical things like APIs these days. So that's Antoinette. She just keeps doing more and more and more. So for those who are in need of advanced API work, DevOps type of work for like DevSecOps in general, and if you're trying to do like migrations or you want portable backends or you want scalable backends, you want to do things like chaos engineering, stuff that you wish you could teach your team how to do. Not only can Antoinette do it, Antoinette can knowledge transfer those things to your team and make tools for your team to help your team do their work. And if something's hard for someone, she'll even automate the bits that they don't know how to do for them so that you don't necessarily need training budget to support, say, 1,000 developers. It's a unique skill set. Someone has cloud that they need to scale and they have hundreds of thousands of dollars that they don't want to disintegrate into dust. So Antoinette can make that money that will go somewhere and not disintegrate into dust.
And if people are trying to find Antoinette on LinkedIn, I'm totally spacing her last name. Can you let people know how to find her?
Cadwell.
Antoinette Cadwell. Go find her on LinkedIn. Go connect. She is super talented. Our next Nexus Kinesis. Are we ready to move on, I guess?
I'm checking to see if we're getting viewers.
Oh, alright.
See
if
we
anybody's
have any
chatting, commenting,
asking any questions
having questions
about the Nexus Kinesis.
We've got a couple more Nexus Kinesis projects to go over.
Yeah.
Our next Nexus Kinesis comes from Xavier White. He is our intern.
Learning how to, basically, the goal of his internship is to see if he would like to be a CEO and learn how a CEO basically does their job. So, should he decide that he likes being a CEO after the internship, then he will be the CEO of Underground Ops. Should he tell us that we gave him a horrible experience and that everything was awful, then he will not be CEO of Underground Ops. He will go where he's happy.
Yes.
So we appreciate you, Xavier. He's been following us for quite some time now. So we believe he deserves it.
So Xavier, in addition, obviously, to being our CEO in training, like intern, he has also revamped the belt system that we use for people to progress through the DevSecOps Dojo. The DevSecOps Dojo, of course, is the Cloud Underground's community for DevSecOps professionals and those seeking to just learn more about DevSecOps. And yeah, so we'll be doing a live stream about that tomorrow evening. I think it's 6 p.m. Mountain Time is when we're going to be, well, after 6 p.m., between 6 and 7 is probably when we're going to be going live. We're going to be talking about the new belt system that is going to be implemented in the DevSecOps Dojo. So essentially, the belt system is based off of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So you do white, blue, brown, purple, brown, and black, I believe, is the progression. And then within each belt, there's also stripes. So as you complete particular tasks, you progress and earn stripes. And then obviously as you earn your stripes, there's 4 stripes with each belt, you progress on to the next belt. And then ultimately with the goal of creating a personal brand. I mean, all of the belt tasks are, the first few are like just post on LinkedIn about like using the Nexus and what your experiences are and that sort of thing, and just kind of getting people to take stock of their own skills and build a personal brand, whether you're trying to get a job, like a new job, or like transition jobs, or get a better job, or if you want to start a company and like build your own tools using the Underground Nexus. That's a lot of what the belt system is kind of aimed at helping people do. is like giving you a path from like just installing underground Nexus to being able to like build a product with it and create a business, or transfer your skills to your own to your company that you work for, or a new company, or whatever it is that you like to do. So shout out to Xavier. He has done an amazing job of laying that out and creating those steps, automating it all within our Discord community as well, so that again, we don't have to like manually promote people every time you earn a new stripe or a new belt. So there's a lot that goes into that.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of things. It's educating people in technology is not the easiest thing.
Yeah.
It's quite complicated, and so it's Xavier is graciously taking the format that Randall and I started with, and in a lot of ways, the path that Randall took to like go from like learning how something works all the way to like turning it into something bigger is that journey that the new belt system is capturing, so that anyone can basically like start their own journey themselves, but they're in the community where everyone else is. And some of us, like me, are more introverted and don't generally like to talk to other people on our journeys, and it's very personal for someone like me. I'll join a community and I'll just go and do it myself, most likely. But then there are others out there who prefer to come in there and have all the people to talk to. Take a look out for Christopher Ballard. If you want someone to talk to, he's awesome. He'll help you figure out how to use the Underground Nexus, all those good things. And Xavier is going to make it so that you can go and work with all of those fun individuals along your journey, so that you don't have to learn alone if that's not what you do, or if you do prefer to learn alone. All the resources are there. We're there to do the guidance for you.
Yeah,
and the belt systems.
It's all self-paced, so you can do it on your own time, when you have time, when you want to, and take as long or as short amount of time as you want to work through that.
Yeah.
So our last Nexus Kinesis comes from Jermaine. What's Jermaine's Nexus Kinesis project?
Jermaine's Nexus Kinesis project is magic.
Yes.
So really, Jermaine has been a huge contributor in making the Underground Nexus what it is, especially what's called our Git BIOS. So Jermaine is going to be making basically a portable website engine that's WordPress based in the beginning. It'll probably be more than that, because Jermaine always comes up with the maximum of everything. But what we do know is that it will be a way to have a website wherever you want that website to be, and it can be centrally managed, centrally controlled, a specialized engine, so that you can have more control over your website's resources, and have more power of choice and things like that when it comes to doing web development, web design, building labs, learning development, because everything needs a UI, and every UI needs an engine, and there's no such thing as a UI without an engine. And having ways to manage things automatically with automation, time is money, and so you can do more when you can automate more.
Absolutely. That's our philosophy for sure.
Automate.
Yeah. Automate, automate, automate.
Automate more, work less. And then when you're done with that, automate more, work less. And then just keep automating more and working less. And Cloud Underground is a mostly automated company.
The beautiful thing about that too is, like, if you can automate like the asinine tasks that you have to do every day but like don't really want to, then that just like frees up all this time that you can then put into doing things that you actually care about, or like development that is actually going to like push the envelope or move things forward, instead of just like the same stupid stuff you do.
That's right.
Routinely, because you have to. Automation.
Automation.
Anyway, I think any other thoughts on Nexus Kinesis?
I think we've covered it. The big one is take a look out for any of those individuals. If you're looking for managing like data resources and assets at scale, take a look at Jermaine. If you're trying to figure out how to grow and manage, turn around assets, all those things, strike deals, like grow bigger deals, talk to Jermaine. You're trying to do huge engineering projects, talk to Jordan. If you are a person who wants an amazing cybersecurity program and you want someone who's just going to be there for like 20 years, Randall. He'll just be there. Whoever gets Randall first is the lucky one because he's never going to leave wherever he goes, which is good. It's good stuff. So
that's why we're lucky
Randall is an ally, and we appreciate Randall, and we're here to help make sure that he gets to a place where he's happy. Happy Randall.
Yeah, well,
happy businesses.
And just shout out to everyone who we mentioned today. I think it'd be great if we can get everybody on for individual interviews at some point as their projects progress. We'll have to start thinking about that.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks for being here. If you're on our YouTube channel, definitely subscribe to the NATO as Code channel and head on over to the Cloud Underground channel and check that one out too. And we will see you all